You're right. Both these players off to a great 1-0 start. How does this go, you think?
Very heavily in favor of Infect.
Okay.
Infect is a deck that preys on other combo decks in the format because it's a little more consistent. There aren't a lot of removal spells or pieces of interaction from Storm's side, so Infect just kind of gets to do its thing. It can win as quickly as turn 2 with 2 pump spells plus a mutagenic growth. Whether or not Aaron went that direction, we'll see. He has 2 Groundswell, 4 Vines, 4 Might of Old Crocea, and 4 mutagenic growth, so he's heavy on anti-combo here.
Well, he's staring at a creature on the other side of the battlefield there in Goblin Electromancer, and we know, as we mentioned in the pregame show, if you were with us, if Storm gets untapped with an Electromancer or Baral, the game generally ends. Will that be the case this time? We'll find out, as Barich is going to sacrifice a Windswept Heath. This is a Noble Hierarch, and that leads me to believe that there's no kill here for Aaron this turn.
It's still possible. He has 2 copies of Groundswell. He could also main phase a Might of Old Crocea here. Looks like he's just Pendlehaven plus attacking for 3, so he would need a lot of mutagenic growth to kill here.
Yeah. Oh, boy. If that's a passing of the turn.
Can I get a Tom Rose Infect token, please?
We need one for the former SCG Tour superstar.
This is the dangerous turn from Storm, untapping with this Goblin Electromancer. If Emma is able to leverage this Electromancer properly, she could win this turn.
Manamorphose in hand. Looks like a couple copies of that. Sleight of hand as well. Seems like there's no time like the present. Sleight of hand to start things off.
You can't wait against Infect. You just have to go for it and hope that it's good enough. 2 Manamorphose and a Passive Flames in hand. I believe she's just going to go for it, and she's very likely to win off of it.
Well, we might be on the hunt for the Storm counters here as well. Oh, boy. Yep. Well, okay. Well, excuse me, Aaron. Not Caleb. Aaron, we'll see if you make it out of this turn or not. Get the old F6 button ready. There's 1 Storm. Here goes Sleight of Hand. Take a look. Gifts is, I think, ideal here. I think that's the only piece of the puzzle that's missing, as there's another copy of Sleight of Hand.
Yeah, Emma choosing to bottom the Brawl. It's one of these mana creatures is very good. 2, not as good. You only want 2 against something like humans where they have Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, because Thalia cancels out one of your mana creatures effectively. But most of the spells costing 2 mana out of the Storm deck. You know, you don't really need the second one.
This will be a Desperate Ritual into a Manamorphose. 2 red, 2 blue, 3 Storm right now.
Yeah, the mana creatures making Manamorphose generate mana is gross.
It's absolutely silly. There's no other way to put it. Here's another Sleight of Hand spell for 2 red, 1 blue.
Well, Gifts, Grape Shot, both those are insanely good in this spot. I don't think Emma actually needs... Turn it face up like, yep. I don't know. I can probably kill you. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, I think you just take Gifts here.
I actually think Grape Shot's just enough.
You think so?
She can go Manamorphose, Grape Shot, Pass in Flames, and I believe... Okay, maybe not. She chooses the other way.
Well, this just makes it super easy, too, because here's Manamorphose. Going to go back up to 4 mana. Draw a new card. Another Ritual, of course, would be lovely. Not necessary, but would be nice. Noxious Revival in hand now, too. Now here's Past in Flames.
That leaves her with 1 red floating, or 2 red, or red and blue floating, I suppose, if she taps the Shivan Reef for colorless to prevent damage.
All right. So here's a Desperate Ritual. Don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. That's the thing. I can certainly appreciate showing the hand and saying, hey, I'm pretty sure I've got you beat, but I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was like a cocky thing.
It was definitely not a gotcha beat. It was definitely a, these 2 cards, you know, I'm taking one of them. I think it's good enough. You know, if you would like to speed it up and go to the next game, feel free, but I have it.
Well,
you know.
She did have it, and that's why she wins game number 1 with Blue Red Gift Storm to Emma Handy over Aaron Barich playing Infect, as Barich's start was simply not fast enough, died on turn number 3. It's like you said, it's almost like you predicted the future.
Stoneforge Mystic, too strong. You know, too good for Modern.
Electromancer and Baral, totally fine. We'll talk about that and a whole bunch more in just a minute. We are back. Cedric Phillips, Todd Anderson in the booth here, getting ready to watch game number 2 between Aaron Barich and Emma Handy. It's Infight versus Blue-Red Gift Storm. Storm was able to untap with a Goblin Electromancer, so you know how that went. We'll start with Aaron Barich, who has 4 Geist of St. Trav, 2 Dissenter's Deliverance, 2 Nature's Claim, 2 Relic of Progenitus, 2 Shaper's Sanctuary, a Grafdigger's Cage, a Dismember, and a Spell Pierce. Todd, how can Aaron turn things around?
So Geist St. Trav does not for this matchup. It is more so for decks that have a ton of removal-based interaction. I do love this out of the board. It's really great to see. Sometimes Infect likes to do things like play Kitchen Finks as that threat, the resilient threat. Aaron going the full Tom Ross here, but not in this matchup. Aside from that, I don't know. This matchup is all about speed. I like the Dismember, I guess, to try to contain those combo creatures. Spell Pierce maybe is pretty good. Just that one disruption point. And then 2 Relic of Progenitus probably coming in as well, just to make sure that the card Pass in Flames doesn't eat you alive.
Let's go to Emma Handy's side. 4 pieces of the puzzle. 3 Lightning Bolt, 2 Pyromancer Ascension, and a Braid, an Echoing Truth, a Giga Drowse, and Empty the Warrens, a Shattering Spree, and a Wipe Away. Don't know how much of this is necessary, but I defer to you.
So Storm has 2 options here. You can go more interactive with Lightning Bolt, a Braid. In that scenario, I think you want Pyromancer's Ascension. But honestly, I don't know how interactive you want to get. You need to choose between speed or slowing the game down with interaction. And I think against Infect, you kind of have to just go for speed and hope that you don't die on turn 2 or 3.
Well, that speed worked out in game number 1. We'll see if it'll work out here in game number 2. Looks like Handy going to be sending it back, looking at 6 cards here in a moment. And that allows me, Todd, to let you talk about these 2 mana creatures in Blue-Red Gift Storm being legal and Stoneforge Mystic not.
It's garbage. That's all. I mean, it's just garbage. How can you have a 2 mana creature on the ban list that doesn't win the game when you untap with it? Yet every single time that I play against these Storm decks, either I'm dead on turn 3 when they untap with it, or they cast, a 1 mana cost less Gifts and Gimmon and then 100% kill me on turn 4. Like, it's just Batterskull. Who cares? Like,
I never thought I'd hear that. It's just Batterskull. Who cares?
They just unbanned Jace the Mind Sculptor, and it's a joke.
For now.
For now, yeah, sure. Maybe when you unlock the full-on Cobblade deck, maybe it's too good. But it's probably not. Everyone thought Jace was going to be busted, and Teferi is better.
Yeah,
Teferi is better.
I don't get it.
If I had full control of the banned and restricted list, it would look a lot different. There would be no Green Sun Zenith on the ban list. Birthing Pod can probably come off. There's just so many cards on the ban list that to me don't make sense when you can kill somebody on turn 3 very easily.
Well, I like mixing it up. I like mixing it up a little bit.
Storm has had so many cards banned, and it still kills you on turn 3 every time if you get to untap with one of these 2 mana creatures. It's embarrassing. No Seething Song? Cool.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Emma Handy is going to play a Sleight of Hand. Going to fall down to 19 to do so via the Shivan Reef. Aaron Barich, I believe, searched up a breeding pool there with his Verdant Catacombs. And we'll head back over to Barich here in just a moment. And Barich has now found a copy of Blighted Agent. There it is. And, of course, if you are playing against Infect, there are concerns about dying on the 3rd turn of the game, so we will see if that happens to Handy as we head back over there. And there's a beautiful Expedition breeding pool.
Yeah, sure. Beautiful. I wish I knew what it was when it was on the battlefield.
I like it when it's there on the left-hand side.
Oh, yeah,
of the screen.
when you can see it.
Or when I have them home in
see,
my binder.
I see a giant red splotch. I don't know.
You get
That's
used
what
to.
I see.
Yeah, you get used to. Maybe you need glasses.
I really wish that the foils didn't exist in Magic. I love alternate.
Oh boy.
I love alternate art cards. I hate foils. People get in trouble all the time for having foils in their deck because they warp a little bit more easily than normal cards. And then nah.
We got a Might of Old Crocia. It'll be an attack here for 5.
That's good news for Emma. She didn't die this turn.
That is good news, as there is another Blighted Agent and a Inkmoth Nexus, and now it is Aaron Barich who could die.
Yeah, I mean, Emma didn't play a mana creature on 2, though, so There's a good chance there's a remand coming here from Emma. There's a significant pause here. I think this is one of the better spots for remand, just buying you time, digging a card deeper. It's possible it was a remand bluff.
Who knows? Right, it looks like there might be an unsubstantiated hand. I'm not real sure as we head back over to Emma Handy.
Oh, that's fair. It could have been unsubstantiated. Maybe
Yeah.
she doesn't want to burn it quite yet, wants to save it for when a creature is targeted by Pump Spell.
Yeah, we know how that goes against Infect most of the time, though.
Oh, yeah, you just lose the Vines of the Vastwood immediately.
That or Blossoming Defense. It's or Apostle's Blessing. There's so many ways that Infect has to protect its creatures when it wants to deal you a large amount of damage, as that Steam Vents is going to enter the battlefield untapped. Of course, Emma's normal life, of course, starting at 20, working its way down to 0. She'll be doing most of the damage herself, as this looks like it might be a copy of Baral.
The Chief of Complains.
Too good for Brawl, that's for sure. Let's see what this is going to be. Wait, this could be Grape Shot. No, it's going to be a Desperate Ritual. Okay. Are we going to war?
I think we're just going for
boy.
it. Sometimes you don't even need to untap with a mana creature. You just play some rituals, have a Manamorphose, game's over. GG's.
2 Storm, 3 red. Let's bring it down to 2 red. Let's go to Manamorphose. 2 red, 2 blue, most likely. Wouldn't surprise me. There it is. Time to draw a card.
I'm kind of useless in this spot. You know, we just have to wait and see what happens. Like, there aren't a lot of decisions to make. Either you got it or you don't.
Pretty much. We get to watch it unfold, which is kind of nice, but I do agree with you. As there's a Past in Flames in hand, but I don't think there's anywhere else to go.
No, we can go unsubstantiate. But, I mean, the hand is basically just Past in Flames, Noxious Survival, unsubstantiate, and a land. And I don't think Past in Flames gets the job done. You can do a value Manamorphose, I suppose. Try to get a little lucky.
Well, that's what it looks like she's going to try to do, is get a little lucky here.
Yeah, I mean, she does get a draw off of both the Manamorphose and the Sleight of Hand, though. So.
2 red, 2 blue.
And she still has the Past in Flames in the graveyard to use for a later turn if she's unable to combo off this turn.
Shivan Reef the draw. Noxious Revival being in hand, I don't think does very much. No. Here's Sleight of Hand.
I think you don't even have to say when it's in hand. It just never does anything as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen the card do anything except protect you from surgical extraction.
Another copy of Manamorphose has been found. Are you supposed to keep going or are you supposed to stop?
Oh, I would just cast it. I mean, there's no reason not to just cast it here and hope. She's thinking about using the unsubstantiate to get another storm count.
It doesn't look like that's going to happen. So Manamorphose is going to resolve, draw another card. Grape Shot, okay.
Is
so
that
that's
it?
6, 7, 8.
That's it. Holy crap. She goes Noxious Survival targeting whatever, 9, Grape Shot 10, use 1 blue mana, unsubstantiate. That's 11, and then Grape Shot for 12, and that's it. That's it. She found the Grape Shot. That's insane.
Yeah, that is game. That is game. That is game. Wow, Emma Handy is going to win this matcher over Aaron Barich 2-0. Blue-Red Gift Storm is going to take care of Infect. And what looked like it might have just been a value attempt. Draw a couple of cards, maybe build a little bit more of a graveyard. The last draw was the best one.
She